And today, of course, I am joined with Mr. Walter and Sheila Smithwick. They are vendors at this year's Corn Festival. Thank you so much for joining in with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
But first, can you talk about this Corn Festival and just what makes this event such a great thing each year?
It started to make sure that people knew of all the vegetables and availability of the farmers market. I know it's been going on 20 or 30 years because I've been involved with it that long. And just to get the public aware, come by and see us and get them some fresh vegetables, eat some corn, and see all your neighbors down there. So.
Very nice. Sounds like a super tight-knit community there.
It is, yeah.
And I also saw you brought in some corn today.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about this corn, where it came from?
It was raised on our farm in Newmarket. We had a couple acres of it, and we sell it every Saturday at the farmers market. So
Our farm, our grandchildren there is the sixth generation of on our farm of our family, and so we're trying every year to bring them in a little bit to what it used to be like. So we started growing corn for them to work in the field and go help us sell it, and they're there, and it's good for them also.
Well, very nice. It certainly looks super tasty. I see it right there. But how long have you guys been farming?
Oh, since the 70s, I guess, early 80s, we raised several acres of sweet corn and used to raise sorghum and make molasses. And we found out that raising sorghum is very labor intensive and high on the labor and low on the profits, as you might say.
Right,
a lot of work to it. And so we kind of got out of it, even though we still love it, but we just raise a little sweet corn now.
Very cool. What is the process like creating molasses?
It's a cane, and when it matures, you have to cut the seed head off the top and strip all the leaves off, if you can imagine doing that in 10 or 12, 15 acres of crop.
With your hands.
With your hands. And then cut the stalks down, load them on a wagon, and then carry them to a mill, we call it, which is actually two rollers that press the juice out of it. Then you cook this juice in a large, like 10 or 12 foot evaporator pan, cook it down into a syrup.
Wow.
And it's a lot of work to it. Very satisfying, but it's a lot of work.
A lot of labor, a lot of work there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
First, can you take me through the history of the Corn Festival? How did it all come about?
I'm sure they were having it 20, 30 years ago when I got involved with the farmers market, so I'm sure it came about as to get the public aware, to invite them and let them eat some corn, then they know where the farmers market is. And of course they'll visit with all the farmers and vendors and get them some peas and beans and okra and canned goods.
This year the farmers market will be 214 years old, I believe. The first one was in the bottom of the Madison County Courthouse in the early 1800s.
Wow.
In
That was
the
the
basement.
first one?
That was the first one in the basement. And then over the years it relocated a few times and settled in 1984 in this building when the Madison County Commissioners bought it and bought the property and built the building, and so it's been there since 1984. But 214 years. It's one of the oldest established businesses in Madison County.
That is super cool.
There's a lot of history.
Wow.
Of course, back then, a lot of people peddled their goods just off a wagon, or when cars came to be out the back end of a pickup truck, and this was a gathering place for them.
Yes, and July, of course, is the biggest vegetable season. So you've got your corn, okra, peas, beans, tomatoes,
Honey.
squash, and then, of course, you have the other vendors that come in there that's are staples too. All the time people come looking for them. You've got the honey man, the cookie couple, the cake guy, the the flower people. I mean, the berry people. And he was talking a while ago about how small the community is. Even though Huntsville's big, there's so many people that you see there. Over the years, the history that comes through there, they know so much about Huntsville, the older people that do, but they know each other too. So it's amazing how big Huntsville is, but yet small.
Exactly.
And it's all
That's
gathered
super
in one
cool.
spot right there.
A lady came through a week before last that her daddy owned the Huntsville newspaper.
Really?
Years, yeah, way
Right.
back when newspapers were big.
Uh-huh.
She came through, and that was interesting talking to her. Her daddy was in with a lot of the older businessmen that were here when Huntsville was growing, and she named some names around Huntsville.
It's
That-
very
that-
interesting. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
The customers have time to chat and talk, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Y'all are certainly making me hungry. Like mentioning all the different things that might be there, like the peas and
Oh,
of
yeah.
course the corn.
Yeah, and the
fried
corn,
meat.
there's
Yeah.
some of the favorites with the corn is the Obsession, the Peaches and Cream. Oh,
Ooh.
Silver Queen, of course. Everybody comes asking for
Yeah.
Silver Queen. But so even though we've had kind of a rough weather this spring,
Turned off dry.
Uh-huh.
But started off wet, and after we finally got the corn planted in the ground about the middle of March, it did good. And of course, it got hot and dry
Yeah.
overnight, and we had a couple of plantings that suffered through that. But
Uh-huh.
but overall, we had overall, I imagine everybody had a pretty good year.
and so far that we've seen, has been plenty of corn there.
In the sweet corn, of course,
In the
sweet
sweet
corn
corn.
has a short growing season. Some of this field corn, commercial type corn's having a hard time.
Right.
It's
Because of all the dry weather.
dry
Yes.
weather. Yeah, it's.
But somehow
pitiful.
sweet corn's making it through.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. What's the difference exactly for someone who might not know between the field corn and the sweet corn that you guys grow?
This actually has a sugar in it. It creates a sugar. Back when I started raising sweet corn, I researched it and came up with some nutrients to put in the ground to help the corn develop sugar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it helped or not. We raised a good sweet corn, but field corn is more like just to make your cornbread out of, or going animal feeds, or field corn is.
Although growing up, there was a lot more field corn out there because a lot more farmers. So we all grew up on eating field corn.
Mm-hmm.
The older generation that we have become.
Right. Not at all.
So there's still a lot of people that come through the farmers market asking field corn. Some of the older people, and they look for it because they love it.
Right.
But it's not as easy to come by now.
Well, and when it matures, you just got a short span
Very
there
short, like 3 days
when
almost.
it's mature enough to eat before it starts getting hard,
Yeah.
and it's good for grinding up then, to make meal out of or something.
So would you say like the sweet corn, it might be easier to grow than some of the field corn?
Not necessarily to grow, I don't think, but
As far as eating it,
you have a lot of them are designed as this one is now. When it ripens on the stalk, the shanks in it hold a lot of moisture, and it can stand out there for a week or 2 or 3, and still be fresh. But a field corn is designed to mature, start drying up so they can harvest it.
So it's a bit more sustainable.
Yeah,
You would say.
yeah. It's just developed for, just eating right off stalk, fresh food. Yeah.
For sure. And it definitely looks good, like I said. But what is your personal favorite corn dish, or your favorite dish to create with corn?
I'd have to say just boiled or broiled,
Okay.
either one, just on the cob.
Yeah.
A little butter and some salt and pepper. That's a meal to me.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
that's a favorite in our house. We have every day. We have steamed corn every day. But we do love corn casserole, and we do love Mexican cornbread, and I mean, it's hard to have a dish with corn in it and have it messed up. So it's good. We like it lots of ways.
You talk about the Mexican cornbread.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I am super interested.
Oh yeah, I'll have to get you the recipe.
All right.
I'll have to get you the recipe.
I'll take you up on that.
Okay, I sure will.
For sure. It's certain. Well, what is when you think about all the corn festivals that you've been to throughout the years? What is your favorite part of the event? Whether it's the community, whether it's selling some awesome corn, or whether it's tasting all the things that is to offer there. What's your favorite part?
I like seeing such a crowd eating corn and talking and visiting, and I mean, the corn's steaming and it smells good. They have several vats of boiling corn and it smells good. And when people get them some and start eating, I just love to watch them, you know, the community together.
Yeah.
You know, we're lucky to have it, you know,
Absolutely.
here in Huntsville. Yeah.
Very cool. What about you, Sheila? You have a favorite part?
The people. I love Huntsville. So you come to the corn festival thing there right at the new market, at the Madison County Farmers Market, and the people are happy. They're happy to be there. They're talking to each other. It's like a family reunion almost.
And we're happy too. We're happy to be out of that field we were in all morning getting this
yes.
corn loaded on the truck. So
That's right.
we can relax and sell now.
Exactly. Yeah. The hard
Everybody-
work's about to pay off.
Right.
That's
Everybody's in a good mood.
That's right. Well, how many people are you expecting to see there?
There will probably be, I'd say, a few hundred easy.
Wow.
You know, it's continuous. People, a lot of them are early risers. They get in at 6:30 or 7, go through the market, do what they're going to do, buy what they're going to buy, and they phase on out. And as they're shopping, other people coming in. It's a pretty good rotation throughout the entire morning. So I would say easily 200 or 300 or 400 or 500,
Wow.
easy.
The
On a normal
market
day.
opens at 7, and then they're going to feed the people between 11 and 1.
Right.
So
Okay.
there'll be lots of corn ready by 11 o'clock, and just y'all come eat. It's be fun.
Exactly. And what all dishes might be there?
They'll do the boiled corn, and then
Yeah.
they'll also, I'm pretty sure they're going to, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Susan Ayers, the manager, that there will be food trucks there. There
Oh,
will
yeah,
be
vendors, yeah.
all kinds of
Snow
things to
cones,
drink,
lemonade,
snow
and-
cones,
and, yeah.
tea. It'll be amazing.
It'll be a variety.
Sounds like I'm eating good this
Yeah,
Saturday.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think
Oh, yeah.
so.
Well, in total, how much corn do you think will be there?
Oh my goodness.
There'll be several truckloads, pickup loads for sale.
The vendors all donate corn, so there'll be
And-
several varieties there. And then Susan, like I said, Susan Ayers is the manager, and she will have her crew there on Friday, shucking all this. Probably, I would say, probably 100 dozen.
I'd say a minimum of 50 to 75 dozen.
Yeah, and then
probably more, closer
They'll
to
shuck
100,
it, get it
120.
ready, have it ready, put it in the cooler, and have it ready for cooking on Saturday.
Wow. That's certainly
Yeah,
a
but-
lot. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fresh corn. I'd be afraid to guess how much corn will be for sale off of vendors' tables like ourselves. You know, it's several bushels, hundreds of bushels, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
different varieties, and it's interesting. Yeah,
Certainly the place to go if you're a corn lover. That is
yeah.
for sure.
Our fresh, fresh
Just fresh
fruits,
produce. Yeah.
produce, fruits, vegetables, and pickles and whatnot.
Snow cones, like you
That's
said.
right.
Lemonade.
Snow cones, yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Pies, peach pies, fried pies. There's just so much stuff. It's
Chow chow. There's a
mhm.
couple of people make
Pickles.
chow chow. And
Yeah.
it's,
All the berries, the fresh berries, the peaches are in.
And I'm from Georgia. I
No,
love my
no.
You,
Scott's Orchard
Yeah.
has theirs in. Isom's has theirs ready.
And you
No.
being from Georgia, you're familiar with watermelons, I guess. There'll
Yeah,
be, there'll
that's
be
true,
watermelons,
too.
cantaloupes.
And this
yeah.
is the perfect month for
Right,
watermelons. Yeah.
right.
But yeah, well, that's just about all the questions I have for you all.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for coming in and
Sure.
bringing in some of this delicious sweet corn.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. That's yours.
Yeah,
That's our
well,
gift.
I'm excited to eat that. That's for sure.
We're so happy to be here, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. If maybe I didn't ask something that you would like to add, feel free. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for coming in.
I think we've covered everything pretty good, and I hope everybody knows they're welcome, and come on down and see us Saturday at the Farmers Market on Cook Avenue.
That's right.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. If you are a corn lover or you just love any kind of produce, fresh produce, you know where to go this Saturday. Head on out to the Corn Festival. But thank you so much for coming in
Thank you for
today.
having us, AJ.